Okay, well the last 24 hours have been quite interesting for me. I've learnt a lot of things about the settings on the mercane. So with the battery charged and my phone mounted, and by the way, the phone mount that I've been using for quite some time actually works nicely on this, more nicely than on the wide wheel, because it's on that centre screw together part, which perhaps is better seen from this angle. So that actually gives it a much better knurled grip, so it just stays there in the centre. So yeah, there's a lot of good things about these bars. I'm beginning to think that what I need to do is attach something here, and there's plenty of scope for that. There's plenty of places you could put something in here to give it a kickstand and actually also keep my feet off the suspension there, which looks sexy, but yeah. So as you can tell from the tone of my voice, I'm actually thinking pretty seriously of keeping this. So let's start off on gear 3 here. You definitely need to be back here, but you need to be forward when you turn corners because it kicks. Now that's in gear 3 with speed de-restricted. Let's just go for a bit of a quick run, saying, oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to start my other speedo because I also played with the settings last night to maybe correct the speedo issues. So let's see now. Tools. So obviously 0 at the moment. So let's get going. You definitely need to lean forward when you take off. These are actually, now the speedo's reading a little bit under. I'm reading 34 on this and 26 on the speedo, so that's interesting. I need to keep an eye on that. So let's just do a high speed run up here. 27, 31, 35, 33, 34. This is an uphill. 42. So I think it's going to top out at about 44 because I've set the speed limiter into that. So yeah, definitely need to be further forward. This bar's a pain in the ass. Just really soaks this road up lovely. So if you're after a high-speed commuter, fucking baby, this is it. I don't know that it fulfills what I like about scooting so much though, because let's just drop it down. So to drop it down a gear, I've got to go cycling up through the gears. So let's put it into 2 now. And 2's pretty restrained. Now it's sitting on about 25. So mode 2, gear 2, gears on an electric motor with no gears. I love that shit. So now that's in 2, that's sitting on 27 up this hill, which is actually lovely. So that'll probably conserve my battery. So with the settings that I've got at the moment, with the speed limited to 42 kilometers an hour, I can actually stay within the law at 26 kilometers, well, a little bit outside the law. I can stay within the law at about 26 kilometers an hour. And yeah, it's actually pretty good. But the balance point on the scooter is bad because it forces me to stand right back. Otherwise I've got to like more or less put my gut into the bar, which every bump is going to hit me just below, well, it's called the solar plexus, and that's the perfect place to punch someone if you've got to bring them down. So yeah, but you know, if you're riding along smooth and you're the kind of person that is afraid of scooters, which is most people, they're just not willing to admit it, yeah, it's great. It's a really, you know, nice little device. Okay, let's just turn around here. It does allow you to lean back though nicely, so it does have a well, again, you know, and the takeoff in gear 2 is good, so that's good. Let's just see if the cruise control engages, because I like that. Hard to be sure. Find out soon enough. Yeah, I think it must have done. No, it's dropping in speed. The 7 seconds is hard to time while I'm talking. So yeah, basically it's good. you've got to change your position to be standing and snuggling up to the bar, which maybe isn't a bad thing. Maybe I'll just get used to it. But definitely the combination of the suspension and the tyres is really good. I don't know if you can see how much that shakes around on bumps, but so yeah, actually, as long as you keep your balance, the wide stance is probably not too bad. I could get to like this. So just deliberately hitting some bad bumps there that I wouldn't hit with mine. You know, it's doing okay. Okay, we seem to be sitting on about 28. Yeah, so gear 2 is good. So this actually gives me greater control than my plain wide wheel. Well, for fucking $3,000 you'd expect it, right? So I can actually use the programs. In this case they're called gears, but anyway. So I've got it on 2 at the moment, and with the speed restriction that I've put on, well, the maximum speed position that I've put on, it cruises along nicely. We're doing 29 kilometers an hour down here, which is lovely. We just hit some of the worst bumps that I can, and yeah, that's doing pretty well. So it's actually a pretty well suited to the country scooter, which is good because I live in the country, and this is probably going to live up here. Let's just, no, do I feel like going off the road? Yeah, let's just go off the road and then get back onto the road. Yeah, that was pretty painless, so that's easy to solve. So that actually gives me a much better exit strategy when there's crazy fuckwits in cars. I know there's too many bumps to go straight over there on the side right now, but anyway. I'm in all the way down at the golf course, which I might do in a while, but the grass is wet from the morning dew, so what have we got here? We're doing 0, 31. Okay, I'm going to stop here at the bottom of my street, and the brakes are good. I really like the brakes, so that's a nice thing as well. So let me just start the little GPS tracking thing and get rid of those trips, and then I'll just start the recording here. And so let's go into town and go up that hill that I did the other day. In fact, I'm going to take a slight detour. I think I've got an example of this. Actually, fuck it, while I'm here, let's just do this dirt road for a bit and see how it goes. I did this on the wide wheel the other day. You've got to remember to use the back brake when so you need to lean forwards, so you've got to really kiss those bars because the front tyre gives you that bit of a kick. So we're cruising along here at 23, well 23 on that one, who knows what it actually is, probably about 27. Now these corrugations are doing better, and so this is actually quite comfortable on this road. So this will mean that I can comfortably go along dirt roads exactly as I expected, without there being any, issue. Definitely need a mirror on this thing. You've got to watch out for that. Alright. Fucking hell went bang and a bang 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 down there. Oh well. Yeah, definitely need to move that fucking stick further forward. I might try lowering the bars. Morning. Yeah, so here I am on the worst of the corrugations at about the worst of the speed. This is where people start slowing down for the corner up here, so corrugations are bad. My wide wheel wouldn't do this. It'd be protesting and clanking and carrying on and bottoming out, which is understandable, because it's really meant for just flat top like this. So again, I'm hitting bumps, no dramas. turn that off. So we got it sitting, yeah, so it's cruising on 23, so what we've got to do to make that better. Saying 23, I'm doing 26, so I have to increase the wheel size. Yeah, it's a bit of a calculation you got to do on this. So yeah, this is pretty good. It's pretty much exactly what I expected from the suspension side of things. Morning. Now, I went through here yesterday. Now, I normally go along the bridge here, but today I'm gonna go along here, which has really got quite an amount of difficulty for my wide wheel, and this just soaks it up. So that's pretty good. And again, another nasty one here and another one there. So the suspension and the tyres are doing exactly what I expected them to do. Hup. Yep, and that works well. So yeah, you can cruise along at 20-something kilometres now. It'll be interesting to see the GPS record. It's saying 22 here. Let's have a look at that when I get back. So I'll be interested to see if it takes the hill that I want to take up there where the church is, pretty much dead straight ahead along that white line. Car coming. Does it in this gear, because this gear reduces power, obviously, and so it may not automatically compensate. So I might have to actually put more power into it when I'm going along. You know, theoretically I've got to stop here, or a policeman will say something to me. Yep, and that lean forward happening. So, welcome to the Killarney Bowls Club, folks. Again, I like to lean off the scooter in corners. So, we did this one the other day on the wide wheel. Let's see how this one goes. I get the feeling it's gonna force me to go up a gear. It's bogging down to 20 k's. And again, I really don't have enough on the back foot there, but I'm going to try and get it up there in number 2. Just dodge the glass. Got to dodge glass now because I got tyres, right? Better get. Oh, look at that! It's actually crawling up this quite okay, even on gear 2. That's good. So it's got sufficient power to run up this. Yeah, you can wait. It's got sufficient power to run up this, even in the lower power usage, so that means that it should do okay. The battery indicator on the, yeah. It's actually nicer. I can actually let it stop down and then just trigger and it not scrabble the tyres like the other one would do. It looks like the dogs aren't happy. Well, that's good. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to figure out what to do with that pole, yeah? They're really going for it, aren't they? Let's look at the other side. So yeah, suspension's doing well. That fucking headlight's useless. Morning! So if you stand back like a vegetable and gas this, it'll throw you back. But you really got to be putting more weight over the front wheel, and it's really hard to put weight over the front wheel with this fucking pole the way it is. God damn it! I really want to change that. Okay, the dual brakes give me a nicer progressive feeling, and isn't that a lovely scene over there? Just love the way the clouds are on the mountains around here. For those who don't recall this part of the world, I'm on the western side of the Great Dividing Range, but I'm kind of right on the very, snuggled into the foothills of the very edge of the Great Dividing Range, which is just up over there on the left. And pretty much all the way over to the right, it's decreasing mountain ranges all the way through to the centre of Australia. A couple of thousand Ks, but nonetheless, there it is. I need a better helmet with this thing. Okay, so there we go. Well, it's definitely more of an open road scooter. And hopefully it'll last longer with sort of abuse that this area gets, and I'll actually be able to go further places. So we've still got full battery, which fucking hope so. So cruise control activated, that's lovely. We can cruise along here at 23 kilometers an hour. Well, what that says, 23 kilometers an hour. We'll figure it out later. Past the pub. It's probably going to need a lock on it though. Nothing coming. I wonder if that steering's loosening up a little bit. Or, yeah, I think it is. So maybe just the grease was getting a bit tight from disuse. Yeah, well, we'll see. But yeah, it's got really good I'm gonna shut the fucking horn. So yeah, you know, basically I can just cruise along. It's got much better steering stability than the 010X does. And those fat tyres and much better suspension and frame quality than the Mantis Pro. It's pretty similar spec, I think, but the difference is that this has actually got the chassis to back it up and is nice and rigid, whereas the Mantis is kind of all about the motors and the batteries and nothing else. Not to mention those braking poles. So yeah, I'd call this you know, good. Let's see what it'll do on a high-speed run here. So I got to take that off. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wrong one. It's got it in 5 now. So let's just take off. The takeoff is pretty gentle, but I'm disabled the speed limiter at the moment. Well, I haven't disabled the speed limiter. I've put it into gear 5 and the speed limiter is currently there. So we dropped down to 47 k's an hour, 27 k's an hour on that. And let's see what we do on the downhill on the other side. I really want to fucking footstep on this. So down the hill we go. Bonnet. Steering still feels good. No signs of wobbles. Let's get off the road and onto here. And 1, 2, 3. Put it back into 3. Need to kind of put my foot down there at the back and lean my front foot out as ballast. Bloody hell. So this is really a scooter for, well, as it stands, I don't know, someone that doesn't know how to ride. What gear have I got that in? If only I could read. That's 3. Okay, let's give it a bit of a run up for here. Just cruises up that hill, no problem at all. Okay, well, let's take it up my worst hill. I need a better helmet than this one, that's for sure. I really need that footstep at the back. I'm going to have to make something up. Well, I'd say that I'm keeping it. Based on my language, talking to myself already. I wonder if you can actually hear me with this. So I might want to slow down for this corner because I don't know the scoot that well. Oh fuck it, who cares? Yep. So now I need to dial in the suspension a bit. On it. And well, actually can go around those corners faster than before. The suspension is helping a lot. Got to be careful on this. I could actually go too fast and find myself in an out of control situation fairly easily. But the bike holds together really well. The bike holds together really well. Feels tight, and the chassis feels good. There's no wobbles. It's pretty bloody good. So now that I've solved those problems out of the box, I wonder how many disappointed bloody owners there are that bought these things and found it a pussy even on, you know, gear 5, and I'm on gear 3 still. Yeah, interesting. Might want to adjust these brake positions. But again, you've got to remember to lean back. Interested to see how the brakes go on this. Okay, well there we go. Unlike the wide wheel dual motor when I first got it, I wasn't in love with this straight out of the box. But with some tweaking, it's actually proven itself to be a very capable little machine. And definitely copes with the environment here quite well. So, let's just stop recording. Okay, so I'll jam all this together and see how it goes. Let's see if it fits into the same place the other one fitted into. Not really. Maybe. One thing's for sure, she's a heavy fuck. Okay, well, there it is. Okay, turned off, and there it is. So I'll turn off and go and publish this.